everybody, Tammy here, and I wanted to show you an additional technique from my Beautiful Day layout. I'm going to show you a little trick here using the technique of rolling using two different ink colors, and I'm going to give you a couple tips regarding using alphabet stamps, the My Acrylics, okay, or any acrylic alphabet stamps really. The stamps I'm going to be using for the letters for Beautiful is called the Works alphabet, and it's one of the smaller alphabets, and it's handy to have a smaller set of alphabet stamps on hand. Typically I think people tend to get the larger stamps for titles, but we neglect sometimes in thinking about getting these smaller stamps. And this is really a nice set because it includes both upper and lowercase as well as numeric and a few symbols. And sometimes it's hard to find that. You either have to buy the letters separate or the lowercase separate, but this comes with everything. Now, one things that kind of stops people from using stamps for letters is the placement and getting a straight line. If you have grid paper, it's perfect. If you don't have a pad of paper like this, steal a pad of grid paper from your kids. If you have kids old enough, or even young kids, the kindergarten paper that kids use, the primary paper, has lines. Anything with lines really will help you. But I'm just going to lay these out, and I'm doing this upside down, so hopefully I'll spell it right and place it right. But and the acrylic has a little bit of a sticky texture to it, so it tends to want to stick to my hand, so that's why I'm having trouble. I need some nails here. Now, not many stamp sets will have multiple letters, especially in the vowels, and this one does not. It only has one each, which is one reason why you would get the upper and lower and the numbers and symbols. Now, the problem I'm going to run into is I need another U. So there's a couple ways I can do this. I can take this U and I can move it over here because I know how much space it's going to take up, and then I can go ahead and finish my word, excuse me, and I can stamp that. Now the other problem I have to keep in mind is because I'm rolling, I want this to go on a stamp and it needs to fit the width of my ink pad, and I'm going to have trouble making that happen. So what I'm going to choose to do is to leave the L off, put the U on, okay, and it's hard to do this upside down, so I don't know if it's perfectly straight from your angle or not. And I just want to get the placement right if I can here. Now once you have them lined up and you're happy with the line, just take your block and press down. Now, close to my heart, acrylic blocks actually have an etched line which will help you line up your stamps. And you just basically take your stamps and press down, and voila, there you go. All on it. Looks pretty straight. Not too bad for being upside down. Now I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use one of Close to My Heart's newest colors called Smoothie, and another color called Barn Red. Now you think this isn't going to work together, but it does, and I kind of discovered that through playing with it. Now the Olivia kit that my page was done with uses those two colors together, but I don't know, just playing around in it, it's like I love how that looked. So I'm going to open this up, and you should usually start with the lighter of the two colors. Let's try this. Since I'm right-handed, it'll open easier. And I'm going to just use a scrap piece of paper right here to stamp on, and I am going to ink, okay, get plenty of coverage, and then I'm going to take the other color and I'm going to roll about halfway, and you can look through it and see if it's as far as you want and press down. And again, it's good to, I say again, I've said this in a past video, first time here though, to hold it for a second and let the ink color absorb into the paper. And you can see there the gradated look. Now I didn't go up as far on this as I did on my actual layout. Here's a scrap where I was playing around with it, and here's the two different colors. Didn't do such a good job stamping there, but you can see the effect right there. Now I want to do the UL. So I could take this off if I was done and ready to clean up. Because of my classes, we just used it like this. And we were ready for the UL. We just peeled it off. Again, laid it down. Have my UL. And you can use a completely different block. Now I could add it out here to the side, but the problem is I'm going to stamp down. I'm just going to put it on the opposite side of the block, and I have it there. Again, I'm going to ink and roll. And being conscious of trying to get it similar to, and I'm doing this upside down just so I can see, guys. And there you go. And how beautiful. Now I wanted to show you another technique that you can use. Imagining you had a round embellishment and you want to stamp around that round embellishment. With the acrylic stamps, it's really easy. You just lay them out how you want them. And you can even do this with word stamps, especially if they're long single lines. You can actually curve it. And you can't really do that with rubber. Now you could if you had individual rubber letters, but still it would be hard to line up just because you can't see through it. And I'm going to use the Y here. Now because this is not exactly flat, I'll grab another block over here. Alright, I'm going to use a bit of a bigger block here so it'll fit. I'm just going to go at an angle, and I can take that, put ink on it. Okay, so I have that, and then I'm just going to ink it. Now this obviously is not going to, let's see, let's do this. Let's use Topiary. I don't know why I feel the need to match it, but I'm going to ink it, and then I will just stamp it, and that way you have the curvature of your flower that you wanted. And that's wonderful about the acrylics. So I hope you enjoyed this couple of techniques, and I'll see you in another video showing you another technique from my beautiful day layout.